two da couples and one academy gang members burst through the front door of my boutique the following afternoon, all holding shopping bags full of various fabrics and supplies. After they dump the bags onto a display table and hand me the receipts, I take out some cash and hand it over with a smile. "Thanks for picking up all this stuff, you guys," I say, riffling through the bags to examine the various fabric types and patterns. "This looks great. Would you mind taking it all into the workroom?" I ask, pointing out the location's direction. "Jed and Sarah will sort through everything and distribute it." "Sure thing, Angel," one of the couple members says, and the three take the bags away. I let out a long sigh once they're out of earshot, returning to my sketchbook. Deciding on the designs for the 50 outfits was easy. 50 suit jackets, 25 button-down shirts, 25 blouses, and a mixture of trousers and skirts. All the cuts are relatively simple, with different fabrics, colors, and buttons used for variety's sake. I was able to draw up plans and instructions for those earlier today, but the 5 unique designs I need to provide to be showcased and auctioned off at the charity fundraiser are proving to be a bit more a challenge. I don't have much experience working with professional wear, which makes it hard to come up with an original design, especially since there's so many constraints on acceptable office wear. After idly tapping my pencil against the paper for a few minutes, I decide to go check up on everyone. Inside my modest workroom, there's nearly 10 people crammed inside, trying to communicate over the loud whirl of the sewing machines. Sarah stands over by a table, trying to oversee those cutting the bolts of fabric down into the pieces I specified in my instructions. Jed, on the other hand, is assisting someone trying to change out the thread in my sewing machine. A couple of people brought their own machines from home, increasing our efficiency but also cramping the confined space. Sarah walks over to me when she spots me, running a hand over her forehead. "I don't know how well this is working," she says, looking distraught. I can barely hear myself think. How about if we move everything apart from the sewing machines into the main area of the boutique?" I peer back out into the empty open room. "Really?" Sarah asks, looking hopeful. That wouldn't disrupt your business?" "Nah, it's fine. After what Evan's done, I doubt any customers will be coming in." Thrilled to be escaping the closed quarters, Sarah excitedly tells her team members they'll be relocating. While everyone packs up their materials, I clear off some of the display tables to make room and change the soft music that plays in the store into something more energetic and fun. "Oh my god, this is so much better," one Academy member says as she places down her things. "It's nice to actually be able to hear your voice," the couple replies, winking at her. "What was that story when you were trying to tell about the Academy's principal's office again?" As the group settles into a happier rhythm, Sarah and I exchange smiles. It's nice to see everyone getting along decently well, especially since the Academy gang was hesitant to hear that the couples would be showing up to help over these next 2 weeks. But the cheery banter only serves to distract me from my designing work further, and I end up chatting and assisting Sarah's group, neglecting my own. After stealing Sarah upstairs to my apartment during our lunch break, I confide in her about the troubles I'm having. Don't worry so much, Hazel. Sarah waves away my concerns with her hand. You've had creative blocks before, and you always seem to sort them out in no time. What if I don't figure it out this time? What if I don't finish in time for the fundraiser? I pop a nail into my mouth, envisioning what would happen to the business if I ruined this opportunity. Hey, Sarah pries my hand away, pulling me in for a hug. Don't focus on that. It's way too much pressure. Just focus on doing what you love to do, making clothes that are beautiful, that you'd want to wear. Thanks for being here for me, Sarah, and for everything you do to help, I say, hugging my best friend back. As we step away from each other, a small idea sparks in the back of my mind. That's what friends are for. Sarah gives me a sweet smile. You were there for me in my darkest, most dramatic moments. I instantly get flashbacks to seeing Sarah in the hospital after the knife attack from Even, only for my mind to be invaded by another fretting thought. Who planted the knife on Gray? Hey, Hazel, coming back downstairs? I want to spend some time with Jed before getting back to work. I shake any speculations out of my head. No, I think I'll stay here. The quiet helps me focus, and I really should be getting back to my sketches. Right now, I know exactly what I need to be focusing on. I'll try to find opportunities to take my gang members aside and ask them about the mystery knife over the course of the next 2 weeks, but finishing my designs comes before solving conspiracies. The next 2 weeks pass by in a blur. For the most part, interactions between the academy and the couples went better than expected, with numerous budding friendships forming. When they didn't go so well, Sarah and Jed swiftly put a stop to any drama. They also led the volunteers to the successful completions of the 50 outfits, taking as much work off my occupied hands as they could. I look around at my boutique, feeling empty now that everyone has packed up and gone home. Hearing the lock on the back door open and someone enter, I move my head in time to see Gray walk into the shop. Hello, stranger, I say as nonchalantly as I can. It's been a while. I haven't seen Gray once since the night that the couples met at the bar. He hasn't even hosted his weekly poker games, at least not here in my basement. I had a little free time, so I thought I would come help. Gray looks around at the empty shop and then packed cardboard boxes. It's a bit late for that, I say tersely. Everything's done. Gray's eyes slip over to mine, pouring into me. Hazel, are you angry with me? I sigh as I consider the question. I know I shouldn't be. I know that you told me you'd be busy settling whatever it is that you're dealing with, but I swallow the lump rising in my throat. I missed you. A lot. I know, he whispers. I'm sorry. Gray moves closer to me, stopping at arm's length. He reaches out and strokes my hair with one of his hands. I wanted to be here for you, Hazel. I can be now. Really? I ask, the idea of having him back in my life seeming too good to be true. Will you come to the fundraiser tomorrow? He pulls me in close, pressing a kiss on to my forehead. If you want me there, That's where I'll be, I promise. Does this mean everything is over? We can go back to normal? I I don't know yet. Gray looks at me regretfully, but I'm doing what I can to ensure things play out the way I want them to. I sigh softly, pulling away from him. I want to feel like I have him back again, and not like we're always on borrowed time. Gray clears his throat, then points to the 5 original designs I finished for the fundraiser. Are those the clothes that you created for the fun charity? Jed, Jed was telling me a bit about it. He walks over to the display and starts inspecting my creations. Yeah, I say, feeling a bit bashful. It's not exactly the most original concept. I just ended up making clothes that I thought I'd want to wear if it were me working in an office. Oh, Gray asks, holding up a men's navy suit jacket. How so? Well, I start to say, striding over towards him. It's a fairly standard jacket and pants, as you can see. As for the shirt, I pull out a silk button down made up of 3 horizontal striped sections. It's meant to stand out at work. With the jacket buttoned, this'll all look like commonplace professional wear. But someone could take the jacket off and then immediately be ready to meet up with friends for a date. I can't say I spent much time in a suit, Gray says, taking the shirt's material between the 2 fingers. But it seems like a nice idea. Is it the same concept for the women's clothing? He points to a couple of dresses and matching jackets. Exactly. I pull one of the jacket outfits of the rack closer toward us. The dress is knee-length with a floral green print, while the jacket of matching length is structured and solid color. The jacket makes it appropriate to wear at work, but the dress is something I'd still want to be wearing afterwards. Oh yeah? Gray asks, a sly grin forming. Maybe you should try it on for me. I have to be up early tomorrow. Tonight is not a good night for this. For a moment, I am convinced I must be crazy to stop this when I know how badly we both want to continue. If only tomorrow wasn't so unbelievably critical. For a second, Gray doesn't move. I feel him take a few steps, a few deep breaths against my neck. Before pulling away to make eye contact, he sits me down carefully. I suppose one could say this is karma for me, stating I needed to take my time. The mischievous glint Gray typically has in his eyes isn't quite there now. The way he's looking at me now is more like longing. Was this a component? Sure, but this seems to be deeper, stronger. I believe he truly wants to be here with me. You can stay if you want, I offer, speaking softly. So we'd have to actually, sleep. Tempting, he says, the corner of his lips pulling up into a smirk. But I don't think I could let you. Even if I could keep my hands off you, Hazel, I'd still want to spend much more time with you. Then we'll have to just see each other tomorrow. I drink in the sight of him while I still can, reluctant to see him go. Tomorrow it is. He swoops in for one last quick kiss. Good night, Hazel. Good night, Gray. As I watch him leave, I have to stop myself from changing my mind and calling out to stop him. I reassure myself that another opportunity to be with Gray will come along soon enough. Dang, this is a nice place, Sarah exclaims as she, Jed, Nikki, Gray, and I walk up to the hotel, boxes in hand. Very fancy, Jed says, nodding along. An employee immediately comes around to assist us, loading the cardboard containers onto a luggage cart. I explain to him that I'm a designer participating in the Workweek conference, and he nods in affirmation. I'll take this over to the conference room 3C for storage. You can double check with the front desk, but I believe the event is being hosted in room 3B next door, the bellhop says. Okay, thank you. I give him a polite smile before my attention moves towards locating the elevators. My pleasure. A warm pair of arms wrap around my waist. Is this the kind of place you'd like me to take you to someday? Gray whispers into my ear. Having our own room sounds nice, I say seductively, speaking at a low enough volume for the others not to overhear. Oh yeah? Gray smirks. And what do you imagine us to be doing in there? Whatever you tell me to, I grin wickedly, knowing exactly which buttons to press. Gray stares back at me, his eyes dark with desire. Be careful what you wish for, Hazel. I might just give it to you. That's exactly what I'm counting on. I skip a couple steps ahead, pulling the door open into the hotel lobby and heading inside. After taking the elevator, we head over to the registration table located outside the relevant conference rooms and are greeted by a stylish-looking woman in her 30s. Hello, I'm Angela. I'm the event coordinator for Workweek's fundraiser today. Are you all attending as guests today? The three men nod, but Sarah and I don't. Hi, I'm Sarah Johns. I'm here as a photographer. I spoke to Neil Forrester and received permission a couple weeks ago. I'm so glad I asked Sarah to call him and set that up. I feel secure knowing Sarah will be able to capture my work, confident she'll do so in a flattering way. Angela confirms something in her notebook before nodding. I see. She smiles brightly at Sarah. I'll get you a press badge. And you? Sarah turns her gaze to me, still smiling. I'm Hazel Hansen. I also spoke with Mr. Forrester, but about appearing today as a designer. We brought the required outfits with us. I believe an employee took them to room 3C. The woman's smile freezes. Oh, yes. I remember being told you were at it. She seems reluctant to speak further, eyeing another group of people that just approached the table. Can we speak a little way down the hallway? Angela speaks, and I feel a nervous heat creep through my body. Sure. Though the others stay behind, watching us walk away, Gray follows. He stays just far back enough to not appear like he's listening, pretending to be fixated on a piece of artwork hanging in the hall. Is there a problem? I asked nervously as Angela and I come to a stop. We thought we had enough male models for all the original designs today, but we've had several last-minute cancellations. There isn't enough. Angela looks at me apologetically. Since you were the last designer to join, well, I'm too busy trying to keep a straight face to answer. All the work and time everyone's contributed to this day these past weeks. Was all this for nothing? We can still credit you as a full participant, and we have plenty of female models available, but I'm afraid you won't be able to present any designs that require male models. Angela studies my face, looking concerned. Aren't the models able to change into new clothes throughout the show? I say finally. Well, of course, but even after altering the catwalk order, we couldn't find a way to get male models that would fit the measurements you sent to us ready in time. The schedule is just too fast-paced for the models to do all the clothes changes they would need to. Something has to give. Angela looks at me with pleading eyes, willing me to understand. I let the severity of the situation sink in. With over half of my original outfits unable to be shown today, can I make a big enough impression to have hope of media coverage? Excuse me, Gray cuts into the conversation. Wouldn't help but overhear. And is there any chance that I could volunteer to model Miss Hansen's clothes? Ah, yes, Angela says, taken aback. Provided they'll fit, I don't see why not. Excellent. Gray grins at me while I stare back, dumbfounded. And those two gentlemen over there, the ones we arrived with, could they do the same? Well, sure. Angela's smile is back. The coordinator for the model is in room C. She can give you all your instructions. Sounds great. Thank you, I say, amazed the situation worked out. As we walk behind Angela to finish checking in, I resist giving Gray a big, huge hug. You saved the day, I whisper, looking up at him with a smile. Gray whiffs away my praise. You would have done just fine without me. I just wanted to see all your effort get the recognition it deserves. I know how hard you worked for this. Gray, you're the sweetest. I beam at it. Absolutely ecstatic. Think Jed and Nikki will agree to be models? I'll convince them. Gray seems quite confident. Leave that to me. As I finish up the registration process with Angela, Gray somehow gets the other guys on board. I'm thankful they are willing to help me. Doubtful either of them would want to be a model for a day. The rest of the setup process goes smoothly, and before I know it, the event is about to start. Angela comes before everyone to speak, microphone in hand. The bustle of crowd and numerous conversations comes to a close as she moves to the front of the room. Welcome everyone to Workwear's fifth semi-annual fundraiser. I'm Angela Parker. the event coordinator for this afternoon. In just a few minutes, we'll start the fashion show. I'm sure you all are very excited to start. Today's event completely features indie designers and small boutique owners who have generously donated clothing to our cause. Please give them a round of applause. Angela pauses to give the audience time to clap. The bidding today will be done by silent auction, and any money raised will be split between our organization and the respective designer of the outfit. Here's how to place your bid. As Angela goes into the details, Sarah turns to whisper to me. Can you believe any second now your work is going to be on display? Absolutely not, I say, remembering how powerful it was to see my designs at a high school play. This is something I couldn't have imagined. Are you excited to see Jed in a suit? I whisper to Sarah. Of course, she grins. Opportunities like this don't come around too often. You're totally right. A thrill of anticipation runs through me as I try to imagine Gray wearing the suit I designed. I'm very glad I didn't wash the clothes with a lavender detergent this time around. And without further ado, let's begin, Angela exclaims. In groups of 5, models walk into the room and stand behind Angela, showing off the features of their clothing through various subtle poses. Sarah and I conversed with each other as the show goes on, complimenting unique aspects of the designs and discussing what outfits we would want to wear. Chatting with her serves as a pleasant distraction from the thought of my own clothing being on display any second now. I hope the guys are doing okay. The 3 suits I made should fit them decently, especially with some assistance from pins. Look, Sarah squeals, getting a camera ready as the next group walks to the front of the room. A whirlwind of emotion runs through me as I see 2 female models along with Nikki, Gray, and Jed standing before the crowd, dressed in my handiwork. Gray in particular walks to the end of the catwalk and flashes his iconic grin at the crowd. He makes a finger gun and puffs out his blazer. I can't help but beam with pride. Gray looks so good. I never imagined. Do you think people will like them? I ask Sarah, no doubt disrupting her as she takes photos. What's not to like? They're beautiful, Hazel. She flashes me with a quick smile. Jed looks great. To my surprise, I do see some people taking notice and jotting things down on paper, following the instructions Angela gave to place a bid. That has to be a good sign. The showcase phase of the event soon wraps up, and the guys walk over to us afterwards while the bidding phase officially starts. How'd we do? Nikki says, dressed in his regular clothes again. You all look amazing, Sarah replies, looking only at Jed. Great, I notice him. You didn't undress? I ask, seeing him wear the outfit still. I honestly felt like wearing this a little longer, he admits. Been getting some good feedback on it. Did you really have to do the finger gun at the end there? I asked with a grin. Give me some slack. That was the first thing that came to my mind. Gray smiled sheepishly at me, running one hand through his hair. It was adorable, I say earnestly. Excuse me, are you the designer of these young men's outfits? I feel a tap on my shoulder and turn to see an elegant middle-aged woman trying to get my attention. Oh, yes, I am. I'm Hazel Hansen. I reach out to shake her hand, which she accepts. Nice to meet you, Miss Hansen. You can call me Evelyn. The woman gives me a polite smile. I just wanted to say I enjoyed your work. I hope to see you at the next fundraiser as well. Thank you very much. I hope they'll have me back at the next event also, I say, returning her smile. Evelyn says a brief farewell to the group as she is on her way. I turn back to everyone, grinning. That was kind of her, Jet says. Yeah, I shake my head in disbelief. This whole day has just been unreal. Well, you deserve it. Sarah rests her hand on my shoulder for a second. You've been working so hard. I couldn't have done it without you guys. Thank you all so much. Seriously, this has been such an incredible moment. It's not over yet, right? Nikki points out. Don't you still have to get paid? How does that work? Oh, right. I'm not really sure. I should go talk to Angela. I search for the event coordinator in the crowd. Upon spotting her, I make my way over to inquire about payment for my designs. Let me see here, Angela says, tallying up numbers from her stack of papers and showing it to me. You can expect to receive a bank transfer of roughly half this amount. If you'd like, you can give me your bank information now, or we can do it later this week over the phone. Now's fine, I say, taking a piece of paper and pen from her and writing my account number down. You can expect an email from us with records of bidding, as well as a survey for how well you thought the event was run today and information about how volunteer further with workweek wear. We look forward to hearing from you. Angela gives me another professional smile. Thank you, I say politely, before heading back to join my friends. So, Sarah asks as I approach, Are you a millionaire now? Far from it, I laugh. But for the 2 weeks of non-stop work, it's pretty great. Not life-changing or anything, but I don't have to work as much about business being non-existent for a while. That's awesome. Sarah replies, Should we all head home? I want to upload these photos and edit them as soon as possible so we can try to get the business article about Hazel written for the newspaper. Fine by me, Jet says. It'd be good to change clothes. As Sarah pouts, Nikki makes eye contact with Gray and I. Are you guys leaving too? Nikki asks. I think most people are. Yeah, I'm pretty tired, I confess. Gray places a hand on the small of my back, leading me out of the conference room as the rest of the group follows. Let's get you home then, I can think of nothing better.